Oh, what do we have here? Could this be a game indie checkout video? Haven't done one of those in ages, have we? Jesus Christ, it's been a while. Anyway, something has come up that caught my eye that I believe deserves a review. So we're going to check out the Steam page, and then we're going to check out the videos and the Kickstarter as well, which is live right now. So like we used to back in the day, let's have a read. Umbral Core is a 2.5D fighting game set in a world of dark high fantasy. It features rollback netcode, uncapped FPS, engaging combat mechanics for players across all skill levels, and lots of customization options. Kickstarter and public demo live now. That it is. Let's have a look at this video right now. Hopefully I do not get copy strikes, because this has happened in the past. Let's have a look. Don't copy strike me, dads. Please. Oh. This work? There we go. I love the art style.
Toll the bells, for blood spilleth forth. Round 1. Fight! Welcome to Umbral Core, a 2.5D fighting game set in a world of dark high fantasy, where we'll tackle concepts of personal struggle and growth, while also dabbling into eldritch tones and themes. Amidst the darkness and depravity of the twisted world lies the namesake of the game, the Umbral Core, an artifact of a bygone era, perpetuating the cycle of suffering for generations to come.
God, it's so gorgeous.
One of the first things we knew from the start of development was the art direction we wished to take.
Is that a fountain of blood?
We really wanted to aim for a stylized dark fantasy addition to the fighting game genre. The inspiration was pulled from ranges to that of eldritch horror, which we wanted to try and use sparingly.
Creepy.
Traditional grim dark fantasy, like that of Berserk.
Oh my god, Berserk. I love... That's my favorite manga.
We started Umbral Core's development following the genre's best practices, such as rollback netcode. But our true ambition is to raise the bar and set a new standard for fighting games. Umbral Core will try to break the mold, featuring uncapped FPS. Players will have the option to unlock rendering FPS while keeping the game logic at 60 FPS. This
Interesting.
means that the frame data and combat system will behave just like regular fighting games, but the game flow will be much smoother. Other features include online training, in-game frame data, visible hitboxes, preferences for combat stance, online input delay, and more.
God, it's gorgeous. So I've played this on stream. It's amazing.
Light, medium, heavy, and unique. Combos can be done through chains of growing strength, links which require precise timing, or handy auto combos. Power is the main resource. It's split into 3 meters and allows performance of EX moves with 1 bar, burst launcher with 2, or annihilation impacts with a full gauge. Fury and Control are 2 resources that work in very similar but opposite ways, rewarding offensive and defensive playstyles respectively. Both gauges are divided into 2 meters, which can be spent singularly for specific mechanics. Like
So basically 3 resources we need to manage. I suppose 4 if with the health bar. So there's complexity to it.
Thank you for checking out this preview.
Thank
We're
you.
currently in the pre-alpha development, so everything is subject to change. The game will be available on PC and PlayStation, and we'll be launching a crowdfunding campaign later this year, as well as a playable open alpha. Stay tuned and follow us on our channels for the latest news and content updates for Umbral Core.
Very exciting stuff. Very exciting stuff. Let's turn that music back on. Unmute. So, as you guys know, I am a absolute fiend when it comes to dark fantasy. I love it to bits. Favorite manga is Berserk. One of my favorite games is Dark Souls. I'm a glutton for punishment as well. So, let's have a look at the screenshots. Not much that we haven't seen in the trailer already. So you have the ability to get out of counters. You have your power meter and your block meter and whatever that is, I can't remember. Oh, your fury meter. I'm guessing it's something like a fury meter because you can use it to go like do more damage and go to like Super Saiyan state. Very cool. Apart from that, very typical fighting game, but it just looks absolutely gorgeous. Awesome. All right, let's have a read. Umbral Core is a 2.5D fighting game set in a world of dark high fantasy. Amidst the darkness and depravity of twisted world lies the namesake of the game, the Umbral Core, an artifact of the bygone era, perpetuating the cycle of suffering for generations to come. This is literally... Okay. Oh, it is different. Okay, I thought it was like exactly the same as in the trailer. Umbral Core art direction aims to start at a stylized dark fantasy addition to the fighting game genre. The inspiration was pulled from ranges to that of eldritch horror and more traditional grim dark fantasy, such as Berserk. The initial roster includes 6 characters with unique, deep, and complex designs. All relevant fighting archetypes are represented throughout the roster in order to appeal to all kinds of playstyles. The game features rollback netcode, uncapped FPS, engaging combat mechanics for players across all skill levels, lots of customization options, and more. Game mode will include story mode, good, online and offline versus and training, tutorials, trials, and more. I like that. I do love a good story mode in a fighting game. Now, as you guys can see, there is a download button right here. This is for the Umbral Core demo. There is only one character in the game at the moment, and that is Byron. He is a sword wielder, but can also shoot magic. I have played this on stream. It has been very fun to play, which is why I went over here and did the Kickstarter. Sorry if I just flashbang someone with the white screen. So let's have a look. Umbral Core is the first project of our indie development team, A Few Rounds Games. It started out as a passion project between 2 long-term best friends back in July 2020, and quickly took a professional twist thanks to the amazing team we've built. Umbral Core is a 2.5D fighting game set in a world of dark fantasy. Dark high fantasy? Yes, that one. We get a lot of inspiration from titles such as Street Fighter, Guilty Gear, and King of Fighters. After developing our original mechanics, we decided to bring it all together to create our own fighting game. As great fans of lore-deep works, we've designed a rich narrative world imbued with dark gothic vibes and themes inspired by the Souls series, Castlevania, and Berserk. 3 things I absolutely love. Game will launch with 6 characters on PC and PlayStation. We really wanted to allow our potential backers to try the game out before deciding to support us. As such, we're excited to tell you that the open alpha of Umbral Core is available. That is that download button we saw just a moment ago. We're very proud of what we're doing, so really hope you appreciate and enjoy Umbral Core as much as we do. We count on you to keep the development going and make it happen. If you can make your Ryu vs. Ryu fights entertaining for long periods of time, then you have all the tools for success. That is a tragic founder owner of dustloop.com. It really is the game I've been dreaming of for years without even knowing it. That's Alex, professional music composer. They also have a raffle on for a hitbox. 2 hitboxes. These are fighting decks, I suppose you could call them. And that is available for the $30 pledge, I believe. You go into the raffle. Let's have a look. It's very beautiful stuff. I'm not going to go read all of that. I do want to read this though. The world is broken. The world is broken. A fragmented shadow of what it once was. The blackened haze of the miasma lingering, spreading slowly but surely. Amid its foul air, resting within a den of ruin, lies an artifact known by many names, as ancient as the elder days themselves, the Umbral Core. For some, an omen of ruin, a pagan relic best left deep beneath the earth. For others, a call to glory, no, destiny. In a time such as this, in a land veiled by uncertainty and doubt, what better moment for a professed hero to find it and continue its destructive cycle? Let's have a look at the characters, shall we? Byron. Between poverty and disease, crime and starvation, every day easily could have been the last. By some miracle, he survived the human cattle slums he was raised in and the vampire lords who owned them. His escape brought him into company of Nier, and the adventures that followed. Ripped her away. Nier is stolen from him. She has left an empty husk, with nothing left to save, but Byron has beaten the odds before. Gameplay. Byron falls within an all-rounder archetype. He is a balanced character with no particular strength or weakness that can effectively play both offensively and defensively. He strikes with a combination of sword and demon arm attacks. And Nier, I guess that's his girlfriend. Having grown up in what some would describe as the arse end of nowhere. I like that. Nier spent most of her early life wanting something more than to be a nameless huntress in a tiny village. Her wishes were answered at the arrival of Byron, and the subsequent spreading of a deadly plague that warped the infected into eldritch horrors. Having failed to best the dark powers responsible, she elected to bid her time until she could face it again, but for that, she needed Byron. Nier belongs to the rushdown archetype. Her toolkit revolves around fast normals, ambiguous mix-ups, and excellent ground and air movement options. Okay, it's kind of like an assassin. Gregor. Born under a dying star, it was prophesied that he would see the downfall and the end of his great and noble race. Gregor was never expected to amount to anything, constantly plagued by his fate, yet in an act driven by jealousy. When the time came, the elders and chieftains saw fit to name Gregor as High Shaman, rather than the half-blooded Harak, choosing an omen of their demise, rather than to be led by some contemptible half-breed. The envy of the chieftains pushed Harak to desperation that would ultimately lead to the death and slaughter of most of Gregor's kind. The dark omen spoke true. Gregor now bears the guilt and weight of his destiny and seeks to find the strength to make things right. Gregor belongs to the grappler archetype. He's the slowest character in the roster and doesn't have an air dash, but he has the highest health to compensate. His kit revolves around command grabs and slow, heavy hitting attacks. Nice. This is incredibly creepy. Sigmund, the First Father. Known through naught but an eerie common legend, woven throughout history like a contentious thread. The father, the progenitor... Oh my god, I'm terrible at reading. A tale spoken in thousands hushed tones behind closed doors. An ancient tale to scare unruly youth into obedience, lest you be taken in deepest night. His family, as he called them, the soulless puppets, hollow and empty, face of the lost, heroes and loved. Once also, say the legend. Many have scorched. Many have scorched foolish souls all It's not searched, is it? Scourged. To find something that doesn't exist. But if he did, he'd find you. Sigmund is a puppet master who controls his puppet, Maria. Sigmund and Maria's attacks can be used independently of each other, allowing for coordinated attacks. When Maria is out, Sigmund needs to stall time through his slow pokes, leap, and magic explosions. Creepy. Very, very creepy. Kazami. Having lived a life of comfort and luxury deep beneath the earth, within her subterranean homeland, Kazami's curious nature finally got the better of her. Whilst exploring the deepest known recesses below the land of the second sun, she encountered an entity entirely unbeknownst to her. Amidst the bones of ancient civilizations, she found a living creature, one that exuded a corrupting dark power that she scarcely could begin to describe. In the aftermath of what followed, she volunteered herself to be part of an expedition to learn more of this evil, leaving her home far behind her and venturing into the light of day in search of the answers to the very evil she had uncovered, in search of something, someone, perhaps, who could solve the puzzle of what that creature was, and indeed if it could be stopped. Kazami is a hybrid archetype, which relies on her mobility and evasive options. Her hook allows her to zone the opponents as well as moving around the screen, and her dash/, while risky, allows her to close the gap quickly. Cool. Holy bejeebers. Horok. Herald of Calamity. Born under the rising star, a sign of portent of the great destiny that awaits him. Despite the envy of the elders, despite the blindness of his kin, he would set them on the path to glory. He would right the wrongs of over a century of corruption and decadence that had been inflicted upon the once great race of the Orcs. For his destiny had been written in the very heavens. He would succeed to bring his kin into a new era, a glorious era. After all, fate had decreed it so. Haruk is a zoner character who charges the power of the Umbral Core to grant himself tremendous power. Typically, he likes to zone out his opponents from afar with his 2 projectiles and long-reaching normals. However, once he charges the Umbral Core, he becomes a terrifying presence, as if to cover the whole of the world in despair. Creepy. Character concepts and combat design are constantly being improved, so the character might change. Ball button layout. We're not going to go over everything. But as you can see, there is a lot of cool stuff. Here's the pledge levels. Some pretty cool stuff in them as well. And they can go up to being very expensive as well. What is this? A nano box. Holy bejeebers, that's a lot of money. But they give you a nano box. Your own personal hitbox customized by them. That's very cool. Oh, it keeps going, doesn't it? Holy jeebers. Stretch goals. Development 10. Alright, cool. Anyway, well, that is that. It's got 27 days. So if you want to give it a kickstart, please feel free. I'm hoping they meet their goal of $500,000. I really am. But either way, I'll be following these guys for a while because I absolutely love the concept. And after playing it through the demo, which you can just get on Steam, I'm kind of hooked. Alright, well that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Okay, bye.